What's happening? We got Brandon Aiyuk. Bro over here crashing out. Bro got CTE over a leg injury. This is crazy, bro. Get bro some help, man. Make sure he good. Check on your boy, Brandon Aiyuk. Bro done went to a $120 million receiver to a mechanic in a couple days. This is crazy. But look, bro, you're starting to look like Antonio Brown. Call you Aiyuk Brown. Come on. We understand you want to go to Washington with Debo and all that, bro. Go ahead, bro. Get up out of here. Just make the call, bro. Get up out of here. We don't need you no more, bro.
Just win, baby.
What's goody in your hoodie? It's your boy Black the quarterback, and I'm with my nizzle for shizzle, whizzle, pizzle.
What's going down?
And welcome to the BART Bay Area Raider Talk. And today we talking Brandon Aiyuk. There's a lot of rumblings going on in the nation about Brandon Aiyuk. Will he be wearing the silver and black soon? Could he be the missing piece to the Klint Kubiak new look Las Vegas Raiders? So today we're going to talk about why Aiyuk's history with the Shanahan system makes him a perfect schematic fit for the Raiders offense, for Kubiak's offense, and the reality of his locker room reputation. Is he a distraction, or was he just a frustrated star? I know you guys saw the intro. That was the video of him driving by Levi Stadium. He was tripping, but we're going to talk about that today. So, Brandon Aiyuk, Pizzle, we kind of talked about this a little bit. And for those that's popping in on the Raider Ben Network, you know we NWA now, so you're going to see our streams from cross-platform. So make sure you hit the like and subscribe on all of our stuff, because we're coming with the nation with attitude. So we definitely appreciate everyone that's hacking in and that's coming in today. So, Brandon Aiyuk, what are your initial thoughts about Aiyuk?
Well, I mean, I guess he's an all right receiver. I mean, I don't think he's all that. I think Debo was really the number one over there when he was there, and Aiyuk was the backup or was the number two, but I don't know. I may be wrong. But over the last couple of years, he's wanted a lot of money. He got injured. I think they pulled his money from him, and then he's crashing out. I understand that he's a little emotional or whatever. That's a lot of money to be given back. That's a lot. That's a lot of cheddar. And
Yeah, that is a lot.
When you're dealing with numbers and cheddar like that, you're gonna be a little what do they call that? Begins with a D. A little disturbed, maybe not really disturbed, but I'll think of it in a minute. But yeah, it's I feel sorry for the guy, but I don't know. Yeah, he'll fit the system. He can come in here and we can plug him in at any wide receiver place that we want, because he's pretty much running what we run here over there. So that's not a problem. But is he going to be a cancer? Is he going to be a me, and more me guy? Or is he going to be a team guy? I know there's an M and an E in team. I get it. But,
Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, but, you got to you got to weigh the factors, and we're just starting off fresh, right? Or all of this stuff is happening, is all new, and I don't know if I want to risk what we got going on to bring in a mid-level wide receiver.
I understand the thing, and I think we talked about Aiyuk along with the rest of the free agent or available wide receivers like you said, Debo, it was Jennings at the time. What's the guy? Stephon Diggs, receivers like that. And I kind of grouped them all in that because we were building a certain type of locker room of character and not having distractions and being disgruntled and all that other stuff. But recently, I've had a revelation. I've had a change of heart. I've had a change of mind. And it's something about this particular thing is kind of striking me the right way. Usually it strikes me the wrong way, but it strikes me the right way this time. And what has me really thinking like that is he, for the amount that we can get him at, we're going to take a look at his contract and stuff like that because the 49ers are on the hook for like $26 million and they'll have to pay his contract. We'll give up next to nothing. Like we might give up a fifth or sixth or a seventh round pick, maybe closer to the fifth or sixth, but maybe a low draft pick. And then we only have to pay him $1.50, So I think the risk is worth the reward. And I only say that because I know there's a lot of things that split in the nation. Actually, I think 2/3 of the nation, 75% of the nation is against it. But I understand he coming off a ACL, a MCL, and a meniscus tear, but he was out a year. Some people are saying that he's not in football shape and all that stuff. But I'm in the mindset of it's a low risk, high reward in the sense that, hey, if he come in and act up, first person get drug out. So he can go, we wouldn't lose anything. Now, the upside to it is the Shanahan system. He's already familiar with it. So he also worked with Coach Koob. So Koob know who he's dealing with this guy. And he'll be able to tell if he'll be able to come in and help us. Do we need him to come in and make 1,000 yards? No. Do we need him to come in and be the number one receiver as far as targets and the main focus? No. We can use him similar to how the Niners were using him, but they weren't using him enough. And I think that's where his frustration grew because we saw the other day, McCaffrey, 80% of the offense. So that don't leave any room for Aiyuk if you have a Debo in your lineup. Because Debo's gonna get like 15%, so maybe he was a little uptight about that, which I could kind of understand. And I'm not big on receivers being anxious and
hold on. Hold on. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but it's going to be the same with Jency. He already said they were going to run they're going to run the same. They're going to run the offense through Jency, and they want to give him more responsibility, right? So if he ends up getting the ball 80% of the time, it's going to be the same thing.
I don't think he's gonna use the ball. I don't think that his usage rate is gonna be 80%. I don't think that. I think maybe Cube saying that just to kind of throw everybody off a little bit. I think it's gonna be more balanced. I think we will use him like a CMC, but not as much because you see what happened when that usage rate is so high. He gets injured and stuff like that. So we'll be more balanced. The thing about Aiyuk though that I do like is sure he might get 2 or 3 catches and get like 30, 40 yards, couple first downs, and then he disappears for the rest of the game. I think if you keep him engaged instead of those 2 catches and 3 catches, if you can get him like 4 to 5 catches, he'll be cool. Now, I don't think we have to please him so much as far as targets, but we do need to incorporate him in the offense. And what he does bring is the ability to create spacing on the field. We need receivers that make the safeties stay disciplined so they can't jump routes or crowd the box or anything like that. So I think that's a good thing that if we can bring him in, he'll create the spacing that we need so Tucker don't have to have so much pressure on him. Because I think Tucker is going to be under a lot of pressure this year because people are expecting him to get 1,000 yards. He had 375 yards and 76 yards last year. And we're expecting him to be that number one guy close to 1,000. And I just don't think that's realistic in the offense that we're going to run next year. So I think bringing in an Aiyuk could help streamline that. And if he's an issue, we can get rid of him.
Well, yeah, we could always do that. But he already knows what he's coming into here, bro. It's the same offense. And he needs a throw first offense. We're not going to be a throw first offense, bro. The Niners aren't a throw first offense. They're a run first offense. That's why McCaffrey's getting all the run. That's why he's getting all the work. That's why I don't even understand why they even wanted to pay him that kind of money, because they don't need that good of a wide receiver to just go out there and catch some passes. They don't need a number one like that, because as long as the running game's going, they just need you. They just need people like Jennings, who isn't that really that bad, but he's a diamond in the rough, a gem in the rough. They found him late, and he's turned out to be pretty decent for them. But that's all they need. They just need guys to come in, and that's all we need. We don't need a superstar over there. We just need a guy that's going to come in and catch the ball when he needs to catch the ball and do what he's asked to do.
Yeah, I think that's what he is. I don't think he's a superstar by the stretch of the imagination. I think the year that he was going for the contract extension, he definitely balled out. But I don't think he's a superstar by the stretch of the imagination. I do think that he can come in and be solid. He does catch the ball when it comes to him. I just think, and like I said, I'm not the logic part of it all. I'm with you guys on it. I usually base most of my stuff on logic, but you got to have a little bit of gut feeling in it. And something in my gut is telling me that he can come in and he can resurrect his career. Similar, similar, not like, but similar to Crabtree. You see how Crabtree came in from the Niners? He had a chip on his shoulder. He balled out. I think you can possibly do the same thing. He has a chip on his shoulder. He's playing with the rival squad, the Raiders, coming from the Niners. Um, I just think that and he's getting another chance. And then plus his future contract isn't really going to be guaranteed, so he's going to have to perform the play. Sure, he's going to get paid from the Niners, but what happens when that well runs dry? He's trying to play for another contract. So I think that this is kind of like a Crabtree situation where he can come in and he can ball out and show himself. We don't need him to play as well as Crabtree, but what I'm saying is that he can elevate his game to a level that we wouldn't expect, similar to Crabtree.
See, the problem is you think he's not a superstar. In his mind, he is a superstar. See what I'm saying? In his mind, he's him. I mean, all of these wide receivers think that way. They all think they're the best wide receiver out there. I mean, that's just the attitude you got to have, right? Same thing with quarterbacks. They all think they're the best. Now, whether they are or not is another story. But, I'm just worried about his selfishness, bro. That's what I'm worried about. Can he go out there and catch the ball? Sure he can. But pretty much anybody could do that. It's the NFL. I mean, that's your job.
Yeah, it's the job, but if anybody could do it, we could plug and play anyone, and I'm not seeing us doing that. Like, because then we can go. Then if that's the case, then I guess if we're gonna discount the character part, then Tyreek Hill and Diggs and all those players won't fit here. But I'm not seeing us finding a wide receiver somewhere that can just fit right in and create the spacing. I'm looking at it from a schematic standpoint that it creates spacing. And if he does become that guy that everyone is up side eyeing him looking at, then I think we could get rid of him and it won't be any skin off our back if we did that. Um, and I know that applies to all those other guys too, but at the same time, this guy's in a situation where he has 1 foot out the league and one toe in the league. So he better not vip nor vop. He better not really come in being no cancer or no locker room issue. Now the question is, was he just disgruntled with the 49ers? I mean, is it just a 49er thing? Because Ayuk is a quiet guy. We really didn't see him being an issue until this situation came up. And we know that they get hurt over there. The 49ers, they run a cool head office, but it's not good enough to get them over the top because it's injuries. And so then what they do is the players try to get the money, similar to Debo. Debo got the money, end up cut. So really they're playing this business game over there, and that's why they can't win the Super Bowl. Can IU come in and overlook that, come in with a fresh set of eyes and perspective, and come and try to earn another contract so he can end up being the superstar that he thinks he is?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, it's not up to us; it's up to the front office. And yeah, I mean, I could see from the same thing as you're only going to pay $1.5 million for him, right? So that ain't too bad. But I know he brings all right wide receiver skills to the table, but I guess for $1.5 million, is it worth the risk? I don't know. He just, like you said, he just came off of a torn ACL, meniscus, all this stuff. Like that's a lot of damage in there, bruh. And has he been working out right? Has he been doing what he's supposed to be doing? Or has he been driving up and down, the boulevard looking at Santa Clara, looking at the stadium and shit? You know what I mean? What's he been doing with himself?
Well, I know when we were talking about Jamal McCoy and Dr. Johnson, the world-renowned Dr. Johnson, was talking about players' incentive to rehab. What is the play? A lot of professional players have the incentive to rehab, which is different than probably the layperson, where they might not go to the physical training because they don't want to, or they're not used to working out, or whatever it is. In NFL or professional players have that incentive. I think Ayuk's have a very high incentive to get himself back into shape in order for him to get back to the playing field. Because if he don't, there's no one going to pick him up at this point. He's going to be one of those receivers that would have been played for the money. So I think he has a very high incentive to get himself back into that position. And like I said, probably like one of the very few reasons why I'm really being counterintuitive about what I normally say about situations like this is that the risk is so low, that I think we can take a flyer on this. I think the risk is even lower than the Jamal McCoy situation. So I just like the fact that we can get rid of him, act like it didn't ever even happen if he came in and did not fit, and we would know that. Coach Klint would know that. Based on what you know about IU, I don't know what that is at this point. So I don't know if we're gonna pull the trigger on this. But I just have this vibe that, and I don't usually go off vibes. With Drake saying, "Ooh, vibes." I don't go off the vibes. So, but I think this is a little bit different, and I think this would be kind of beneficial for us, as we like to say, kick the tires on this one. But let's see what the rest of the nation got to say about it. You guys are, I guess we're not really that divided. I'm the one that's divided. I'm the one that's
Well,
sitting on the island on this one. But let's see what the nation say. But you did bring one up as I look down the chat. You brought up a very good point. The Shanahans, like the fraternity.
yep. Yeah, they do got the fraternity. They got, him. Well, they got Kubiak. They got Shanahan, and then they got McVay. And then there might be one or two other guys. I don't know. They just haven't done anything yet. They haven't won anything yet, so we haven't really heard about them. But these guys, they're all flocked together, right? They're like family. And so, it's like, so say you own a business, all three of your friends that you're cool with all run the same kind of business, right? like an electricity business or a plumbing business or something, right? Well, he gets fired from there because he's acting crazy or whatever, and then he goes over to your job, and he wants you to hire him. What do you think? And your boy's already been like, yeah, that guy's kind of like, he's kind of like not worth the time. He's gotten a bad rap. Basically, is what he's got. And do you take a chance on him? I don't know. I probably don't.
I think primarily most of the nation is like a hard no on this, which is kind of interesting to me because some people, the nation was divided about Diggs, but I guess because Diggs actually play, so maybe that's the difference, right?
Yeah, Diggs is a better wide receiver, dude.
He's a better wide receiver.
Yeah, I think he's a better wide.
I'm gonna have to say, yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you on that.
I think
I'm gonna have to agree
so
with you on
far.
that.
Let's just say so far from what we've seen.
Yeah, I'm
so
gonna have
far.
to. Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you on that. Let's jump into the chat and see what the greatest chat in the world say. Well, how does it go? I forgot. You said it last night. I'm new to NWA, so it's the greatest chat in the world, or something like that they said. But I'm gonna get it right. He said just develop what we have and go after Jeremiah Smith or Cam Coleman in the draft next year. What do you think about that?
Yeah, well, like I keep saying, is the wide receiver is the last piece that you get. It's not the number one piece or the number two piece. Like we're further down the line, so we got that dude from Oregon. He's supposed to be, from the film, he looks really good. So we just have to wait and see. Like you said, let's develop what we got. We got plenty of wide receivers over here right now. So, let's go ahead and let them fight it out. Let's see we'll get the best 4 or 5 and go from there. That's what we're supposed to do. We only can keep 91 or 92 of these guys or whatever it is. So, you can't keep everybody. But I guess you can give everybody a chance to come in and win a spot. But we got pretty much. I think we have enough at wide out.
Frank Webb says,
"What up?
Wasn't Aiyuk? Wasn't he the clown who created drama while he wore the wrong color practice shorts? I don't remember that, but it probably could have. But now, is that enough to really dismiss a guy off the team? And I guess when you got a bunch of other things that's along with it, stuff like that don't help. It doesn't help. Okay, let's see. $13 million, I think. You think that's what it is? I'm gonna look up the contract stuff in a quick second. It says Aiyuk is done. He's overweight and not in shape.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of.
He has been training at all. How do we know that to be a fact? Not that I don't believe we the people, because I know you pretty credible and straightforward, but
we the people.
He needs to get in someone's camp. But the thing about it is the Niners are not going to probably release him until the last minute because they're going to try to at least get some kind of value out of him before they release him. So that could very much become an issue, his training and all that. So I do agree with you on that.
Well, Kubiak knows him, and if he knows what he's been doing or if he's seen him, right? I mean, who knows? We might have came in and seen him already. We don't even know about it or whatever. We don't know. But if he's seen him around or whatever, he knows what he's doing. You know what I mean? You can tell if a guy's been working out or not, bro. And he's been off for a while. So, a lot of these guys get lazy in the off season.
I think he had the physical trains.
It's an all year round thing. You can't stop training, bro. You got to stay in shape. You got to be training all year round. It ain't like, you cannot, and you can get injured a lot.
I don't think majority of the league train year round. Yeah, everybody not Ray Lewis.
Well, no,
But I agree with you though. It should be a thing. I would like to think that he's doing some kind of physical training if he's rehabbing that knee. I would think that he ain't just sitting down, blowing big and eating nations. So I don't know. I hope not. I don't know. Like I said, y'all don't beat me up on this one with the logic because I agree with y'all. Because I trust me, I agree with y'all. I do. I'm just saying something just is telling me that this could be something that really is a win-win possible lose situation. And as long as we got a win-win in there, I think we cool. But like I said, this is me just sharing with you guys because I don't like to act like I'm always right about stuff. Because I know I'm wrong like every 6 months, like I told my wife. Like I'm wrong like every 6 months. I'm coming up about every 6 months, like right now. So I could be wrong here. I'm just talking, but so I do agree. So I do agree with you guys. Don't get me twisted. He says Genty's going to get a lot of what that say? Oh, a lot of burn. Seattle had Jackson Smith and still ran Walker like no tomorrow. Okay, and so then, and I'm not disagreeing with you. So then, how does Washington fit into that then?
Well, it was they had that other guy over there. What's his name? The guy that hurt his ACL before Homeboy took over.
Chardonnay.
Chardonnay, yeah, they had Chardonnay over there running too. Then he hurt his ACL, and then Homeboy took over the MVP of the Super Bowl. He took over.
Okay, so then what do we do with Hemby that everybody's in love with?
With who?
Hemby, the running back from Indiana, the UDFA.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's going to be number 3. He's going to be there just in case. Maybe.
Okay. I like this. They said Outlaw said we need to stay young and upcoming. Hold on, I saw somebody. I did say, see, here we go. I think it will be beneficial to the young wideouts personally. Okay, I got one, just like on Jerry McQuire. All I need is one. Who's coming with me? Who's coming with me? um, when you say beneficial, how do you mean that? Because I look at it, him being beneficial is he takes some of the pressure off of Tucker. I think it just takes the pressure off Trey Tucker to be this Jackson Smith and Jigma guy. Like, because even when Kubiak said that, well, he didn't even say that. He made a suggestion of the type of receiver, and people kind of ran with that. But I think it was another receiver to that. I think he might have been talking about. I don't remember who it is, but just the mere fact that we just assuming that he's the JSN, then I think that's too much pressure. I just think there's too much pressure because there's nobody in that wide receiver room that can help ease that pressure. You know, when I say ease that pressure, I mean like schematically on the field, other than Brock Bowers at this point. So that's too much pressure because Brock Bowers really got all the pressure because he's wide receiver 1. Oh, okay. I guess not. Okay, let's see. What's up with Justice for 12? He says, I think we should run with what we got in terms of wideouts. Let's see Besh and Thornton in year 2 and what Malik Benson can do. Great point. Great point. Because I'm really in the school of thought thinking that I think Thornton is going to be cool. I think he's gonna create that spacing on the field that we need. That's why he started year 1. Uh, because of his speed and his ability to have the defense react a certain kind of way. Because even in the first game, he caught the game closing play. Now, had they threw that ball like ahead of the defense, he'd still be running right now. But he adjusted to the ball, came back, caught the ball, did what he was supposed to do. I like DT. I think he'll be cool. Now, Jay Bash, I was trying to understand why everybody kept saying that he couldn't create separation. And I'm like, separations, because as a wide receiver, in my mind, 'cause when I play wide receiver, I'm thinking separation, like I can't get off the line and I can't get open. But from talking with you yesterday, I understand now people are saying, oh, because he can't stretch the field because he's not that fast or he's not faster than the DBs enough where he can create separation. Okay, cool. I would agree with you guys with that. So every time I was arguing that, we were arguing two different points. Because I think Mesh is more like a possession receiver. He can run the route tree, and we don't need him to run the 9 route. He can run the digs. He can run the cross, the deep outs, the 3rd and 5s and 3rd and 8s, and get open and be that third option where the quarterback is uh, looking for Bowers, because in situations like that, you don't look for plays, you look for players. So in that situation, if they double teaming Brock, and for whatever reason uh, Trey Tucker don't get open, then here comes Besh right there. Boom. You know what I'm saying? Or the check down. So that's the role I think he is. So I guess I would like to see those two guys as well. Now, as far as Beasley, I don't know what we have with him, but I think there would be more of an upside to use him if he can stretch the field too, which I heard he can. Then going with a Brandon Aiyuk, logically, just logically. I just think we can get a jug on Aiyuk. That's all.
I just think we got enough. We need to be training up the people that we got. And like, I don't know, like I said, it depends on the condition he's in too. I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen if he's been working out or not. I don't know. Maybe we can Google it or we can YouTube it, see if he's got any YouTube videos out working out. I don't know.
Okay. Circus, what up, Circus? Circus says, fifth, who needs Aiyuk? Hunter Renfro is still available because I listen to Raiders Twitter and live in the past. Okay.
Yeah, the problem with Winfro is he got smacked that one good time and he just ain't never been able to recover. Told him
Yeah,
he
he's
needed,
not.
I told him he needed to hit the
He,
weight room and put on some weight.
yeah, he's a situational wide receiver. We were using him as a 3 down wide receiver.
Yeah, no, I know.
So I think that's what got him hurt.
Yeah, well,
So is Ayuk really a number 1 wide receiver? I don't see. You see, I don't see it.
me neither.
I
I
don't see him as
agree.
a pure number 1. And this is to your point, Pizzo. I don't think he necessarily has to be a pure number 1. We Trey Tucker ain't a pure number 1. He's a pure slot guy, and we're trying to put him in the number 1 position. And the thing about this offense is not going to be traditional. Like, we got to put the fast guy on the boundary, and then put another guy that could do the same thing but can run post routes, post corners, and maybe a little bit more of the route tree because he off the ball, he gonna get jammed. Then we got the slot guy. I don't think that's not going to be how we are. We're going to have 2 tight ends and a wide receiver some times. We're going to have multiple receiver sets. We're going to have a bunch of different packages, and I just think that we can use pieces according to the plays that we're trying to set up versus trying to be traditionally lined up. Let's see if our play can beat your play. No, I think we're going to outsmart a lot of teams and a lot of defenses. So like I said, I just think maybe you can help the younger guys learn the system, and also it gives them competition because that this guy's a veteran, but they'll be like, yeah, we could beat him out though, but then prove it. Because as long as we keep just crowning Tucker as the incumbent guy, then I think that's an issue because I think we're overestimating, in my opinion.
Well, for me, I maybe it is going to be Dante Thornton Jr. is going to be one of the guys on the boundary, and so will the guy from Oregon. Maybe those will be the 2 guys on the outside. And then, you'll have Renfro tight end / slot or Tucker slot, whatever. I don't know. I don't know how he's going to draw it up, but he's going to think of something. He's going to utilize all these guys. That's what he does. So
we the people say Crabtree was in shape and not actually thinking who's on the Fast and Furious. Yeah, your boy did do 90 by Levi. So, and to me, I don't have really a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that because you know what it is for me all the time.
If you're not a fan, what it do? Marshawn Lynch said, I'm a Raider.
Really, don't like the Niners no more. You know what I'm saying? I hope my microphone. If my microphone ain't right and y'all didn't tell me, I'm gonna be mad. And it's not. Why y'all didn't tell me Why y'all didn't tell me the microphone wasn't right, man? That's my fault though. Yeah, but so.
Yeah, your microphone wasn't right.
Yeah, because I had it on another setting, but
now I know.
I'm not saying that he's going to come in and produce like Crabtree. What I'm saying is he's going to be a better version of himself like Crabtree. That's what I was saying. Jack Kenneth, what's up? He said, I don't want him. I don't want Aiyuk. Only balled out the contract year. Hard pass. I agree with that. A lot of players play hard on that contract year, get the ball, get the bread, and dip out like he did. He went to the extreme, though.
They paid him a year early.
Yeah, we need him. Yeah, exactly. A year early. Richard Lyon says, by the way, Black, you were right on the Chip Kelly, so I was wrong. Hey, you know what? Salute to you, man. Salute to you. Hey, y'all hit the like button for my mans. I love that part of the accountability in the nation. When you're wrong, you're wrong, and when you're right, you're right. Not to say that I'm better than anybody, because when I'm wrong, I'm going to tell y'all when I'm wrong. If we don't get Aiyuk, I'm going to be like, well, my revelation was unrevealed. Like I said, I'm just going off a gut feeling right there. So if I really had to think that if we're going to get Aiyuk, I would say it's 40% no, 60% yes. I mean, 60% no, 40% yes. And that's high because really I would be more like 80-20. So, yeah, shout out to you, man. I just knew that from just being from the history of him and the game. So I really appreciate you, man. I really, really appreciate you. Oh, he said last year I was dodging Black, but I want to apologize. You know what, bro? Shout out to you, man. I appreciate that, man. For the real. Justice 412 says people have Aiyuk linked to Commanders in trade. I am not hearing Raiders, but I agree. I get your Crabtree argument. Yeah, the only reason why this even came on my radar is because I was scrolling and I saw it pop up, and then I started seeing other content creators talking about it, and I was like, this is a real thing. And so then I sat there and I started thinking about it. I was like, okay, cool. Let me take some of my biases out of it then, and let me see, could it really work? And then I kind of had that feeling. And then as soon as I started coming off the ground and my head started coming in the cloud, going into the clouds, Pizzle reminded me, he was like, man, Kubiak ain't about to mess with him because Shanahan is his boy, and he ain't going to go to L.A. to the Rams either under McVay because they all hotness. And I was like, you know what? Then my logic kicked back in and was like, you're probably right, bro. You're probably right.
Yeah, you can't hire somebody that your boy just fired.
Right. Money Chuck was good with it. He says Aiyuk is watch. He's a watch drama queen. Hard pass. Everybody giving this a hard pass. So let me ask y'all this then. If it's a hard pass, let's say if for whatever reason that the Raiders decide to go out and get this guy, right? How is that going to make you feel about the team now?
That's a bad business decision. You're talking about business decisions, right? That's a
Right.
bad business decision. If I was their lawyer, I'd tell them not to do that.
Well, make a good business decision and hit the you feel me the subscribe button right underneath there, and then hit the bell notification so that anytime the NWA, myself, Pizzo, Ben, Nutty Raider, Dirty, when any of us come online, you'll be able to see what we got going on. So yeah, make that great business decision because I might agree with you. It might be a bad business decision if we pick this guy up. Let's see. Let's say Aiyuk gets traded to the Raiders. Not sure how he'll stack up versus the rest of the wide receivers. Well, I would think that he would start.
Ooh.
I think he would start because if he don't start, why bring him? If he ain't starting, why bring him?
That's because he's only $1.5 million.
Yeah. If he doesn't start, why bring him?
So you bring him in for competition.
You can bring him in for competition. I agree with that. I agree with
If
that.
he's in shape, you want to see if he's in shape. You want to see what kind of workhorse he's going to be. If he's going to be fragilio like the Niners are, while he's hurt, we don't want him. We want to give him a test run. We want to test drive the car. We want to go 90.
He's fragile.
Yeah, fragilio.
It just happened.
Just my opinion.
How many years have people been talking around the league about Aiyuk making a comeback and impact? What would make anyone think that he can now? That now he can. Good point.
Yeah, I'm all
Circus Raiders say Diggs is a better receiver off health alone.
I agree.
What's up with Lakeland Florida? What's up with Kevin Hawthorne? He said, yeah, he did. Him and Shanahan got into it. What about Debo and Renfro? How do you feel about that?
We don't need. Debo's more of a he's a punt returner / kickoff return guy. I don't really see him as a wideout, bro.
Who that?
Debo.
Oh yeah, Debo. He's a gadget player for sure. He's definitely a gadget player. And then, you try to get him into certain situations where he can take advantage of the defense. And I just don't think that I don't think we need him.
No, we don't have a place for him on our roster, bro. We don't
Hey,
have
Circus is hecka funny. He said Diggs is a no because the rate of single mothers would skyrocket with him in Las Vegas for sure. What'll happen is a lot of women will go home to their husband and be pregnant and don't even know it's Stephon Diggs. Yeah.
Well, they'll know eventually.
Oh yeah, they'll know it eventually.
It might take a few months, but they'll know.
Why would we trade for him? He would be released. Well, to get the jump on it, to get him before someone else does, and plus a 5th round, 6th round pick is not really giving up nothing. Cool, Kev, what's up with you, brother?
Cool, Kev.
It didn't take me 12 weeks to admit that played bad, and I'm still telling y'all that played. Wait, my camera went out. I wish my camera didn't go out because I'm about to reset my camera. Hey, I didn't take 12 weeks to admit that Geno played bad when I'm saying it, and I still don't think he played quote unquote bad. He still had more touchdowns and interceptions. I said this from the beginning, before we even brought him on the field. Geno is a 50-50 quarterback. He's going to throw you 2 touchdowns. He's going to throw you 2 interceptions. He's going to win you 8 games, might lose you 7 games. You know what I'm saying? That's how he is.
More than that.
Well, that's the whole reason. Chip Kelly was the reason why he looked so bad. I bet he won't look like that this year.
Oh, yeah,
I promise you he won't look like that this year. and he's on an arguably worse team, a team that's not as good as the Raiders. I bet you he'll look better this year.
Yeah,
But
we'll
I got
see.
you though,
We're
Cool
gonna play
Kev.
him. We're gonna play him.
Let me see. Let's see. Money Chuck says Washington is a relief back. Kubiak isn't going to run the same multiple running back system like Seattle. Genty is a bell cow, and we didn't have one in Seattle. What do you think about that?
Well, they did have one. They had Charlemagne or whatever his name is. He was a bell cow, dude. He was sick, but like I said, like you don't want, and even McCaffrey, we've gone over this. Is when you run a player at 80-85%, right? You're gonna break him down. And you can only do that for so long, for so many games, and then he's gonna either get injured or you're gonna wear him out. And it's so why do that? I understand you got the bell cow and you use him, but say you use him at 65%, and the other 35% you put homeboy in there. I don't think there's going to be much of a drop off between him and the guy that we just got. So, I mean, I don't see.
You don't think there's going to be a big drop off between him and Minty?
The kid we just drafted?
Washington and Genty?
Yeah, I don't think there'll be that much of a drop off.
Okay.
I mean, the kid from Arkansas is sick, dude.
Yeah, but I don't think he's a Genty though.
Well, I don't know.
I don't know. I hope I'm wrong.
He can take you to the house. He can take you to the house. We've seen the film. And I think he's heavier.
He is.
I think he's bigger, and he's faster.
Yeah, but he also went in the 4th round for a reason.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, could be the reason he was over there at Arkansas.
Could be, but let's say he wasn't a true 4th rounder and he really was a 2nd rounder. He wasn't a top 6 pick though.
Yeah,
or a 1st round pick.
That doesn't mean he's not as good as a quality. People just might underrate him.
Touche. Who Kev says, if anything, Aiyuk got better route running than the current group we have now outside of Bowers.
Well,
go ahead.
Yeah, I think Tucker's been working on his route tree for a few years now, so I think he's been working on that. And but you got to have people that throw you the ball even when you're open. You know what I mean? Yeah, you got to have an offensive line that can block long enough to get you the ball, and then you have to be seen too. You know, I mean, like I said, I'm gonna just make this kind of analogy. You can consider the offense a race car, right? And the quarterback's the driver. And when you have a shitty driver behind a really nice car, what happens? Like you get shitty performance. You don't know how to work it. And it's the same thing with a quarterback. When you don't have a quarterback that don't make good decisions and has horrible quarterback play, and that's what you're going to get. You're going to get a way underperformance vehicle, and that's what we've had. And it's not just Gino's fault. It's the offensive coordinator, coaches on rotation is just it's just crazy. It's just a big a big circle jerk over here. So hopefully we got rid of all of that, and we're just going to let this guy get his 3 or 4 or 5 years, whatever his contract is. And hopefully we get a Super Bowl out of this, or 2, or more. That's all I got.
Y'all hit that like button. For your boys. Says the number 1 receiver thing is overrated to me. We don't need that in order to win. Yeah, that's obvious because they definitely got rid of DK. They got rid of DK, and they still did their thing. So I agree with you on that.
Well, the number 1 wide receiver is going to be his number 1 guy that he goes to. That's what I think they mean by the number one. Who's going to be the guy that he trusts the most? And it's probably going to be Brock Bowers. He's going to be old reliable. Who else are you going to have?
One wide receiver. See, the number one wide receiver. Yeah, you can see how we're splitting that hair, because to me, number one wide receiver don't include the tight end. Right. It doesn't include the tight end, and what that really means is we have one receiver that we could do a lot of things with, and if we really need a play, we can go to him. Okay, so we didn't have one, so we had to default to Brock Bowers. Not to mention he's such of a football heaven sent player that it's hard to ignore him. So then people kind of start, all right, number one wide receiver means number one target, which it can mean that too. So it is a little overrated now, the whole wide receiver one thing. So I don't think we need a true, what they call a true number one wide receiver in order to succeed. Because DK was both over there, and they got rid of him regardless, and he was both number one, the number one target and the best receiver.
Yep.
His stick says Pizzo, Black, triple salute. Thank you, bro. Low key, if we do trade for BA, I wouldn't be mad for a 6th round pick and the Niners pay majority of bro contract type way of off the dribble. Yeah, that's what I kept wanting to say, and I kept forgetting. My other reasoning is a selfish reason. Yeah, let's stick it to the Niners and make them pay that bag, and then we get the benefit. I would love that from a personal perspective.
Right.
Low risk, high reward type. Raider Paul was good with you, brother. Say he can't wait till September 20th. I'm with you. He said, Diggs or Aiyuk? Pick your poison.
Yeah, neither.
Pick your poison. Let's see.
Both.
It says Genty needs like 20 touches a game. Washington will be a relief valve. And I agree with you on that. I think Genty will get anywhere from 20 to 25 carries. So where does that leave Washington? Like 5 carries, 7 carries, somewhere in there? We're gonna throw the ball too. We're gonna predicate it off the run.
Look up and see how many. Oh, hold on. Let's see. I'll look it up right now.
Let's see. It says no way Aiyuk is coming. I could be wrong. We got Naylor. We don't need BA. BA isn't a number one wide receiver. Naylor is a number 2 wide receiver, and BA is a number 2. Well, I wouldn't say Naylor was a number 2 wide receiver. He wasn't even a number 2 wide receiver over there in Minnesota. Or if he was, he barely was a number 2. But Naylor never had 1,000-yard receiving season either. So I don't know.
So it's 31 to 32 times a game. It's how many times Kubiak runs the ball. He runs a 50-50 system. So he's going to probably run the ball.
Let's say we run the ball 35 times. All right. But you said 30 to 32, right?
Yeah.
So let's say 35. So Genty's going to get 25 of those carries.
Yep. So he gets 7 carries.
Yeah, and then somebody else 3. It says Brock Bowers will be our number 1 wide receiver 1 until that day comes in the draft, maybe 2027, just like the Queefs using Kelsey. Raiders Unleashed, 20 touches a game is 340 attempts in a season. That's insane. How many touches did it? Hold on.
There was 500. He ran the ball 520 times last year or something.
His stick say, low key, I think K-Dub going to utilize Genty more in the passing game this season. I agree. Especially after his comments he made about running CMC being dual threat back as a receiver. I agree. I think so. I think Genty, going to get passes out the backfield. He showed that he can catch the ball out the backfield and be effective. He did it in college. I think his role will expand to some more catches this year. And the smart thing about Kubiak is he'll use Zinti as a check down where Chip Kelly did not. So they say DK
525 to 550 games times a season. So they run the ball a lot. So hopefully we'll be able to get the ball rolling.
NFL season, Christian McCaffrey had 311 carries. Act and Ginty, often misspelled Gentry, recorded 266 carries.
Okay, so 340 carries, that'll essentially give Ginty 80 more carries. And McCaffrey had 311. So, okay, 20 touches. And I'm not saying it's going to be 20 every game, but I'm just saying on an average game. But I agree with you. That it's a lot. By the numbers, I can see how that's a lot. I think Ginty will be close to 300 carries. I think he had 266 carries last year. I think he'll be in the 285, 290 range.
That's a lot of carries. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe he will hit 300. I thought he said 341 carries.
Who?
For McCaffrey. Did I mishear him?
He said 311, but
that's still a lot of carries.
Let me see something. Yeah, well, that's how you establish the run, though. Because when you run a lot, people think you're going to run the ball. So here, let me see something. It just told us the snaps because last year in the 2024 season, McCaffrey had 932 snaps and he was 83% of the offense. But it didn't tell me his carries, so I thought maybe it was different. But 311 carries is something else. Raider Twan, I hit you up, bro. Hit me. I need to talk to you. What's up with you, though, bro? It says Naylor was a third option in Minnesota, but this is Trey Tucker's breakout year. We need not to worry that. Malik Benson is adding value. Besh, Thornton, Ginty, and Washington Jr. We set.
Yep.
Raider Unleashed says, I feel like he has less with Mike Washington in the building. And if they keep Roman Hempy and McCaffrey hurt every year, I don't think he's played a full season since he's been in the NFL. No, I think he's played a full season. He even dang near played last year, regular season, and they caught up with him in the playoffs. But to your point, though, is overusage brings injuries.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what you're saying.
Save that energy for the playoffs, bro. Save that energy.
Chuck says, I think the best comp to Ginty is Frank Gore. Same height and weight, running style, and with a bell cow for 16 years. I like Gore. He still look like he can carry the ball like 10 times at least. Boy, solid. I saw him in like February. Cool dude. Justice for 12 say veteran star diva wideouts with our young QB is a no for me. Let's go with the offensive players we got. Okay. Well, the nation has spoken. Nation has spoken, and I'm gonna ride with y'all on this one because I said it from my first initial thought that hey, I don't know about Aiyuk, he an issue. He got a whole issue. This boy didn't go by the school, by the job. Yeah, what'd you say, Pizzle? That's kind of crazy too. It's like having a stalker ex that's just popping up by you, just driving by the house.
Driving by your house in the middle of the night, seeing if your lights are on, if there's a new car in the driveway and shit, seeing where you're at.
Yeah, so I'm with you guys. I'm gonna default with the nation. You know, I had a change of heart, but I ain't had a change of mind. And I'm a man first, so I'm gonna follow my mind and not my heart. So I'm gonna go with it, y'all. It's a no on Aiyuk for me. It's obviously a no for the rest of you guys. But in the event that we do get him, please don't crash out because I warned y'all. I tried to get y'all. I tried to tell y'all that, just something might happen. We ain't Raidered yet. So it might be time we do some Raider-ish. You know what I mean?
We ain't doing no Raider shit this year. Well, we did do some
you gotta make room for a little bit of Raider-ish.
No, we did with Coach Rob.
No, come on, don't do me like that. Come on, Pizzo. We're gonna be doing this all year, Pizzo. Well, I guess until he show himself, he got to, right?
Man, I got my fingers crossed for him, bro. I got my fingers crossed for him, but we'll see.
Yeah,
I hope he comes up with some shit. I am pulling for him, but that's to me was the weak link in the chain.
Here you go. Raider-ish is keeping Dylan Labe. I'm not sure how or why Aiyuk is even a conversation. Went straight up missing from his team. Nobody could get a hold of him. That's not what we need in the nation. Just because he did it to them that doesn't mean he's gonna do it to everybody. That part I can overlook. I can overlook that because we got to remember that this still is a business. And so what happened is these franchises, they have leverage over these players because they know the player ain't gonna sit out all year. But Aiyuk was smart enough to figure out a way to get the bag and do this and do it. So he finessed them. So they're pissed. Yeah, but they don't be pissed when they be taking advantage of all the players and get extra years out of them, like how we was doing our boy Jacobs, right. It's a business. That boy Jacobs was heartbroken, sitting in the parking lot waiting for a phone call. Trying to be loyal to the system in the franchise. And then even after he got traded, he's still so heartbroken. He told everybody that he would have played on a prove it deal, on a re-up. And that's what happened when you go with your heart. So when you have a player that's go with the bag first or the business first, then it's an issue. So I don't have an issue with him doing that to the Niners. I don't. Elise says, I don't see Spytek ever taking that chance on any players with character issues. And if he don't, I'm not going to be mad at that. I can never be mad at that. I'll never be mad at that. And y'all coming for my take, but I'm telling y'all, I'm with y'all. I'm just saying something is telling me it's not as strong as the Chip Kelly thing, because I was like 90% sure about that. Matter of fact, I was like 95% sure about that. But this, I told y'all, I'm only like 40% sure about this. So don't kill me. I'm a Raider, though.
I'm a Raider, though.
So I see Aiyuk as the same as Devontae Adams. Big name, but average play. He will not be a difference maker. Okay. The nation has spoken. Nation has spoken. Hey, let me go and charge my camera up. We do got a show tonight. Raider Ben has a show tonight. It's at 9 o'clock tonight. We'll be there. Make sure y'all hit that. You feel me? I want to thank the combined 42 people that's on the stream. Good turnout, good show. The nation has spoken. Pizzle tried to warn me before I came on here to tell me that ain't gonna work. But I was like, I got this feeling. But it's okay, because I'm a Raider regardless. From the Bay to LA to Las Vegas, I'm a Raider now.
I'm a Raider, though.
I'm a Raider. From the Bay to LA to Las Vegas. Recipes to Al Davis.